Welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Tonight we're going to have episode 175 of The Coin Vault Has Opened. We're going to be coin roll hunting an original bank wrapped roll of uncirculated 1953p Lincoln wheat cents. We purchased these off Pennies. We tried a 1954p the last episode. That one didn't look so good. I had my suspicions. I'm feeling a little bit better about this roll. It looks like everything kind of looks a little bit more right to me. So I'll hold it up here because you guys can probably get a better view. But this one is from First American National Bank. You can maybe see if I can focus in here for you. The last parts on it are a little bit fuzzy. It looks like it says Chicago to me. Just the ink is looking a little bit more kind of old. The roll itself has imperfections in it. It's got a tiny bit of stain right here, not severe, but this roll is more faded. There's little creases in it. I haven't opened it out of the tube here yet, but I'm having a lot better feeling about this roll than the last one. You know, these could, I'm not getting the feeling, but you know, these could be you know, just coins placed on the ends, but they are looking much more like uncirculated coins the way I would hope to see them. However, in some ways that is a little suspicious because the coins probably should be kind of faded or spotted. The auction said that they were taken care of well, and they were delivered in this brand new looking tube here, which I'm assuming this is not the original tube it was stored in over the years. But this roll here is looking a lot better to me. So I'm more excited, I'm more nervous that they're going to be nice coins and I'm going to mess up the coins tonight than we're going to have a ugly roll of coins inside here. What do you guys think? So I'm kind of excited. 1953p just for MS64 is like 14 bucks, 65 is 20 bucks if it's graded by PCGS. We get a 66, they're worth 100 bucks. We paid $88 for this roll. Won it on an auction on eBay. Really no idea, I've just been researching rolls for a week. So this is my second attempt here. Bought 2 rolls in one weekend. The first one I would say we got, I don't believe it was an uncirculated roll. But without, you know, being the first one I've really opened that claimed it was an original bank roll, I don't have enough concrete evidence, but it's all good. Made a video out of it. So if we got an MS67, they're worth 3,000 bucks. It looks like the price just dropped here on PCGS.com. Don't see a price for MS68, so don't think we're going there. I don't think we're going MS67. If they look like the way they do on the end here, I think we could find some 63s, 64s, no problem. If we get lucky, we could do better. Maybe I'll turn on a light here and we can just kind of see, need some light, we can just see kind of what the end of the roll looks like here. And so like when we're zoomed up, you can see some minor blemishes. You can see some little spotting on it. You know, it doesn't look quite as nice, but that's definitely the case with most coins once you zoom in on them. I'm assuming that's machine doubling on the E there, because I did not see any double dies for this year. I mean, it looks like there is some machine damage on the U there. And I felt like one of the T's or N's or something looked weird when I was looking. That's why I decided to zoom in on it. But yeah, even though it like kind of looks like the E extends downwards, I'm guessing it's machine damage. Only one way really to find out here. And so this one, you know, it looks, at least the end coins here look pretty nice. And so I think the one thing that I saw for this year that we could find is a doubled eyelid. That's really all that I saw that you could find. It looked like there was one for the proof, but I don't expect to find any proofs in here. And so generally I would say most rolls off of eBay, you're going to have a nicer looking coin on both ends, and then you're going to have coins that don't look so nice inside here. But who's ready? Anybody ready to open this thing? Or shall I just look at the wrapper through the tube here? Maybe we can open it here and take it out. I'm sure that will avoid any possible chance of returning this. It'll affirm. Be hilarious if this was like one of those rolls that shrink down on the roll. You guys get to watch me for an hour try to bang the thing out. There were some nice coins in there until Time Traveler decided that he was gonna try to forcibly remove them. There's just a piece of Scotch tape on it. The Scotch tape here looks brand new, so I'm assuming that this is a brand new roll. Okay, it has let loose. So the end of the roll here looks a little bit squished. The cap was on there pretty snugly. And yeah, this roll looks a lot older here. There's definitely a lot more sign of age here, a lot more imperfections. Yeah, you can do this to a roll, I'm sure. But if we kind of look in comparison to, this is the roll that we did on Saturday. If you look at this thing, there's not one mark on it. There's nothing going on. You know, this is like this, it's opened. And so like the roll was immaculate. The ends looked perfect. They looked like they had just been done. I feel like I didn't even need to open the roll. The other one almost looked like it was kind of glued down here on the edges. While this one, sorry about the nails, I just figured it would be easier to pick up pennies carefully with a little bit of nail here, so I kind of let them go. But I did wash my hands here, try to get any oil, which I know it's just going to come back. Our skin just exudes the stuff. So when I do open this, we're going to try to you know, lay all the coins out in a long line here, and do it as carefully as we can. I'll try to show you guys some of the coins that way, and then we'll start looking at them and kind of see what the condition of the coins is. Ooh, this cap is sticky. Maybe it's just that little piece of tape there. We don't need random adhesives. Like last week I put the coins on the cap and then I was holding them up to the microscope, and that seemed to work a lot better. Don't want to put it in my palm, don't want it to touch my fingers, don't want it to touch my hands really at all. And so this is really going to be probably the last look we get at this roll. And so if anyone has any questions, happy to answer. I'm just learning myself, and so I don't recommend you guys do this at home, guys. You know, definitely, I paid $88 for this roll. It could end up being nothing. I have a lot better feeling about this roll, but for all we know, there's 2 BUN coins, and the entire center is going to be circulated wheat cents. You never know until you open it. I mean, we are going off of a 1953 on one end, and a tails on the other end, so you know, it could be anything here. Anybody ready? Somebody's watching, I can see you. Let's get a little bit of focus here, because I know you guys came to see me, not the coins. Alright, so I know that there is a lot of ways to open this. I'm not as concerned. I'm gonna, you know, keep the roll, but I am not as concerned. I'm, you know, obviously not gonna rewrap this afterwards. So we have no need to kind of keep this here. And so one thing I do notice is as I'm unrolling the one end, this other end is coming apart very easily, while this one is, you know, kind of sticking. And that is new to me. And we'll see if the other one kind of had little tire tracks that we opened, and so we'll see if we start to see that where, you know, signs that the coins have been sitting in here. And this is a long wrapper. And now I'm starting to get a little peek here. I don't know, guys. I feel like the coins look a little bit more consistent. All right, well, that is done. Let's see. Try to let you guys see what I am seeing. So these are definitely looking brighter red than the last roll. One thing I haven't been able to see is so we'll just kind of like look down the roll here, and maybe I can put a little light on it for a second here, see what that looks like. But what I am noticing is that the coins are consistent in color, which definitely the other roll that we got, they were all different colors. Every coin was a different color all the way down the roll. I'm not sure if it came from the roll, but I can see like little pieces of dust in here. I'm feeling better about this. I do see, I think that there are a couple that show a little bit of darkening. I want to say when I was rolling them out of the paper, I did see one that looked like it had kind of a spot on the rim. But these all seem pretty consistent, you know, without going through. It's like in the center there, I see a heads, then I see a tail, then I see a heads, then I see a tail, then I see a heads and a tail and a tail and a tail and a heads. And one thing I've been seeing from other people's videos is that if you have coins that are all lined up in the same direction, if it's all heads, 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 if there's more than 4 heads, it's not a good sign. So this is a good sign. So we have the coins are consistent in color. It looks like they are, you know, no more than a few, all of the same, no more of a few of all the same date, or I'm sorry, of all, yeah, I guess we haven't confirmed if they're all 1953s, but they are in the same direction here. And so maybe I can kind of focus here. We'll pick one up. We'll take a look. And I can try to show you guys what I am able to see. You know, I see a spot on this. I see a little bit, just a tiny bit of discoloration. I believe this was the end coin. Well, let's not lose it. So I've got a little scratch above the 1. And I mean, like, I feel like this is like 60, I feel like this is bordering on a 64. I believe this is the end coin. There's a little spot on Lincoln's cheek there. So we'll put this one off to the side. This one is definitely an end coin. grab from the other side here. See if maybe I can get a little bit better. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit further. I mean, if we get in too far, the coins are going to look ugly no matter what. But I'll try to show you guys. And so I do have my light on here too, so we can see what the light looks like. I just wanted to see how full of a copper color they looked. And I mean, so far these are looking red. These aren't looking red-brown. So we have a die crack in Lincoln's coat. I have plenty of MS66s that have that. I feel like I can see a couple, maybe that's a die crack in his forehead as well. But overall, that's a pretty nice obverse there. And I'd say that looks like a pretty nice reverse as well. There might be a little bit of toning there going on. There's like a square on the coin that is toned, but it's not like a bright color, just turned a little darker. But I would say that still is red. There you go, you can see it now. I definitely have plenty of coins that are graded that look just like this. So I'd say the wheat ears could be a little bit stronger, but I'm pretty happy with this coin here. Alright, we'll grab the second one. Whoa. I'm going to need to be more careful here. I think that one just got it. Killing coins here, everybody. Alright, so we've got, this is the second one right below it. It shows kind of similar, a little bit of darker spot. Possibly if we get it on the right angle. But I'm feeling pretty psyched about this roll here. And we're just getting into it. There's a couple scratches on the reverse here. I don't know, I'm gonna say this one's like a 64 with the scratches that we have on it. It might even be a 63. There's a little bit of chatter. So we'll just start working our way through here. I'm not sure if that's a spider webbing in the field there. It's not too bad. A couple little tiny spots. Maybe if I'm in the other camera view, I can see a little better. And I definitely have plenty of MS64s and 65s and 66s to compare to. I'd say that one N coin looks like it's the best one we've gotten to take a look at. It's got a big die chip. So we've got a air here. We've got a really nice big die chip on the one ear. Fairly large, and does not look like it's really had contact or been worn down by anything, so that's kind of cool. Normally when I see die chips that big, they're all smoothed and polished. And something going on in the very center of the coin. But we are looking at this under a pretty good amount of magnification as well. So do keep that in mind. The coins are not going to look nearly as nice magnified up like this. There is a spot or two on the front of this one. And I don't know how you guys do it. It's like I feel like while we're going through these, I could kind of put them into two different piles, like one that I think are, gonna possibly have a nice grade, and ones that are just like, no, I don't think so. Pretty nice luster. Doesn't quite do, maybe I don't have it under the light just right, but doesn't quite do a full cartwheel. Kind of lights up in areas. I feel like Lincoln's hair, maybe I'm not focused quite right, but it almost seems like Lincoln's hair could be a little bit more detailed. But overall, this is, I've only opened 2 rolls here, so I'm fairly impressed with this roll. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys would be impressed, if you guys would be happy. Really nice kind of fields on the reverse here. Looks like there is a mark on the coin right below this C there. I mean, it almost looks like it comes up, but I believe it's like a bag mark or something. But it looks like this coin had heavy polishing on the die before it was struck. I don't think those are quite the natural flow lines of the coin. This one, when I looked down on it, it appeared a little bit darker. Almost looks like it's got a tiny bit of toning on it. This one looks a little bit different than the other ones. Something there. It almost looked like there was like a tiny little hair that moved when I moved this one on the stack. Almost looks like there's a tiny hair, maybe it's a scratch on the coin. Right above Liberty. Looks like there's just a little gentle piece of dust. So as far as the last roll goes, I would say this roll here appears to be a lot higher quality. The coin is a lot more red, a lot flashier. So we never know. Perhaps we could find, we found one die chip, and I guess one thing that's interesting to me is we've only found one die chip. And I'd almost want to say that there could be more in the roll if it's coming from the same die. A little bit of spider webbing in this one. This one doesn't look quite as good. Here, we'll pull some from the other end. So, researching and learning about original bank wrapped rolls has been a lot of fun the last couple weeks, or last week. I've definitely watched other people open them, and I always stayed away, just completely stayed away. I mean, for the most part, I've stayed away from raw coins completely here for a while. But it's definitely fun getting to see something new. Looks like a little bit of spotting on this one. feel like this one looks a little bit different than the other ones we've looked at. If this was put together, I would say they did a lot better job of putting nice coins together than the last roll. But to me it feels fairly consistent. Just looking at the rims of the coins, they all looked like they had pretty much aged the same way. We'll go back to the other side. I'm not so sure about like the little spots in the field there. It almost looks like it's more the surface. No, I guess if you look at the light, they kind of still show up. It's kind of an interesting spot on the coin. It's got a tiny little thing and then it's white around it. That same mark that I saw underneath the C on another one that almost looked like it was raised up, it looks like this one's got the same little mark. And so we'll see. I feel like we're going to see that little, what looks like a scratch right below the C. I think we're going to see that again here. And I think we'll be able to tell that is not a scratch. And this one is probably the least attractive we've seen so far. Pretty good sized scratch on the top of the coin and some spotting. Maybe we'll find a Liberty error in here. It's like, this one looks pretty late die stage, like it looks like everything is just pushed up and out. Like the I is kind of crushed, the L is like resting on the rim. This one's looking a little bit similar, not quite as bad. Pretty good sized scratch through Lincoln's head. Does look like there is a die crack or a die scratch on Lincoln's coat there. I don't really see it go down to the rim. There's that same mark on the C. And I'm wondering if I got some of these graded, if a grader would realize that that is not a scratch on the coin. I mean, I don't think that we're gonna see 3, like I'm guessing we're gonna see that same mark here 3, 4, 5 more times here. And so for the most part, the coins seem to be about no more than about 2 coins in a row. Die crack on it, nice fields. A little bit of chatter in the top right field, but not bad. I mean, depending on which way you look at it, it almost looks like it's just the texture. Let's hope for a nice back on this one. Looks like a scratch on the side. Otherwise, pretty nice. Maybe a little nick on the rim too. I feel like that one was pretty close to being a nice coin. Except for that little scratch. I feel like that one could have possibly gone to 66. Got a die crack. Looks like a poor man 1953 there. You can see kind of a little bit of 3 kind of extended towards the rim from die deterioration. I do not believe that that is doubling. I believe it's just it's machine damage that's basically getting pressed out towards the edge from the die getting older and having to stamp way too hard. But it's fun to look at. A little bit of a spot on the rim, or on the wheat ear on the left side. I definitely get the feeling that there's a bunch of 64s and 65s in here. It might be worth adding a bunch of coins in here to a bulk submission. And I feel like if we're lucky, we'll find a couple 66s in here. I feel like that's a really long scratch going down, otherwise it looks pretty nice. I'm a little bit curious of what everybody else thinks. Here we've got another poor man double die. It's definitely not doubling, but this one's even stronger on the 3. I think you can see a pretty good outline of the 3 there. But I'm curious about, I feel like with raw coins that I go through, I feel like oftentimes when I'd see something like that on the front, I would then find like lots of die chips on the wheat ears on the reverse, and so it's a little bit curious to me that we haven't seen any of those. It's interesting. The inside of this little plastic container has fogged up. I don't know if it's just the heat from my fingers, but fortunately it's not on the front of. It's not on the top. You guys can probably see the, no, for some reason you can't see the fog. So we've got some spots on this one. We can keep moving, we've got quite a few more. I should have maybe, I was putting them in a stack here. I'm on the second stack, but I probably should have counted to 10, but I got enough other things in my head here. Another one of those spots directly at 6 o'clock where it's just a little spot and then it's white. I felt like I heard people talk about like some sort of lubricants in the machine or some kind of bath for the coins in these years. I feel like there might be a couple other smaller spots like it on the coin. This one looks like it has really nice fields. I believe that might be a scratch on Lincoln's cheek, but I believe it's a die crack on his head. A tiny little mark in the center of the field, but really doesn't detract from the coin. At least it's eye appeal. And we've got what looks like a pretty good sized scratch on the reverse. Some little kind of like cleave marks in the luster on the bottom. But yeah, these coins are way brighter and way happier. Like I could believe that these all came from the same roll. been definitely seeing similarities in the coins. Like I feel like we're seeing the same dies quite a few times. Because not every coin in the roll is going to come from the same die, even if they were, you know, original here. All the coins get, you know, mixed up together, and you should find some that are from the same die. So it looks like at least one of the dies in here, like we're getting the doubling on the 3. We keep getting like a crack, a die crack on the shoulder there. It's a pretty nice looking reverse. Lincoln's ear here is pretty shredded on this one. A little bit of rim damage, unless that's a die crack, but I believe it's rim damage. I think something hit the coin. Hey Rulas, Zelas, welcome. Hello amigo. Hola. So we opened this roll in 1953p. It was advertised as an original bank wrapped roll on eBay. We decided to give it a shot. This one, it was the first one I bought, the one we opened last Saturday. This one I had a good feeling about, and I never have good feelings about them. And then we opened the other one because I was like, something seems wrong with this one. But this one I still feel good about. I still feel happy about getting it. And I believe that's a scratch. Looks like it kind of interferes with the, but that looks like a die cracked. I believe down there. Going on the wheat ear, which I definitely see a lot of those going through pennies. But I feel like that could be considered an error, especially since it looks like it goes in one side and then there's like another little piece that goes out. So if we find an MS66 in this roll, it's like $100. If we found an MS67, which that would have to basically look flawless, that's like $3,000. But I'm feeling like most of the coins in here are going to be like MS63 to MS65. I do feel like I've seen some 65s here. And I would not be looking at the coins quite this way. It's like this one here I feel like is probably like a 63. I mean, I don't think that scratches. I think that's just the surface it was struck on. But if that is scratches, that would be damaged. But I feel like I've seen 10 coins in here already that I feel like I would send in and give a chance to at least get an MS65. I can hope anyway. I mean, if I did a bulk grade, I feel like after everything it comes out to about $16. This one's got a die chip on the right ear. And kind of hangs out, almost looks like a die chip crack, but I believe it is just a die chip. So I think that's the second die chip we found here. It's interesting. Whoa, wow, this one's randomly toned. That threw me off. See if I can get it to show up for you guys. But this one in the center of the roll is toned. It's kind of, how can I even, it's kind of a whitish yellow color in the fields. There is a tiny bit of pink on Lincoln's chin and throat and the top of his coat, but it does not seem to want to appear. I have no idea what the reverse of this coin looks like. You have 2 double-dyed 1969s. That's awesome. I don't have any. That is a nice penny to have. I mean, getting a coin certified is just sending it in. There is a bit of learning process, like just even filling out the paperwork and understanding the rules. But it's not too hard. Of course, this one has the reverse is kind of similar toning, like a peachy white yellow, but there is a fairly big spot on the coin. And so it'll be interesting to see what the other side of this one looks like. I'm going to cough in the other direction. Excuse me. Don't know where that came from. So this is the coin that was directly attached to the other one here. And I'm not seeing the toning or anything. I guess that would be kind of the only real red flag that I've seen in this roll, is that one random one there. We've got another die chip on the right ear, and just it looks like a little gold nugget just sitting there on the end. And so that's also curious to me that we've had 4 different die chips, and every die chip has been on a different part. I feel like I have found, just randomly, I've found coins with the same date, same mint, that have a die chip in the exact same place. You know, just purchasing coins online, I have like basically ones that were from the same die, same life of the die, but I purchased them separately randomly. I feel like we should be able to find one die chip. Is that another die chip? There's a die chip on the left ear this time. And there's a bit of die deterioration. It looks like everything's kind of getting pushed towards the rim. So it looks like we have a pretty good chance of finding die chips. Definitely whenever I have graded coins and I point out they have a die chip on eBay, it seems like they pretty much always sell. They don't ever stick around. Almost feel like I see something on this one. Yeah, another die chip. Did we see this one before? I feel like maybe the first coin we looked at had a die chip in the same place. I could see that one before I even put it on. I was like, that's either big damage or another die chip. This one's got a little bit darker of a color. I'd say it's still red. But the bottom of his coat is a little bit different color. I'm pretty happy with this roll. If you are watching either now or in the future and you purchase this roll for $88, what would be your impression? Would you be happy? Would you be sad? I feel happy. Definitely way happier than last Saturday. I think we found 6 die chips now. They're definitely something that I collect in just even circulated coins. Maybe we'll find like a monster cud on one of these. This one's a little bit more spotted or a little bit more webbed. Like we've had 2 or 3 like that. Most of the coins seem like they've done really well. I mean, what these are 47, 68 years old. Got a crack going down Lincoln's coat. We have a kind of worn die making the 3 look like it's doubled again. I paid $88 for this roll. I'm not sure if that's another die chip. The wheat ear on the left kind of looks like it goes up way higher. Maybe it's just the way the light is hitting it. Kind of almost looks like there's like a chip that runs up a bunch of it. It's like if you look at this side, all the things are separated, but then you look. Yeah, I think there's a big die chip up here. It's just kind of like a long, spindly one. Trying my best to hold it still. No. I knocked a coin off the top of the pile. I'll have to pick it up afterwards. It's safe. See if we can get our focus back here. But I think you said you didn't know anything about certifying them. It costs quite a bit of money to certify one coin. I feel like most people I hear saying like don't bother certifying a coin unless it's worth over 200 bucks. To me, if I was getting coins certified, I'd be trying to do 100 of them at a time. One coin alone, you're probably looking at, if you send it in, you're probably looking at like around 40 bucks. I feel like most people would try to save on the shipping by sending in maybe like 8 to 10 coins at a time. But you're still pretty much going to pay like, I don't know, like 30 bucks probably a coin, even saving on shipping by the time you add all the fees. If you do a bulk submission of no more than five different coins, 5 grades or mints or dates, dates or mints, you can get it down to 12, but then with all the fees, if you do 100 at a time, with all the fees, I feel like when I've tried to do the math, it comes out to about 100 bucks. I've heard of people say that if you do lots and lots and lots, that you can get to be less than 12 bucks. But I've never been able to see an official number out there. But you know, a coin has to be worth at least 12 bucks if you're doing it as a bulk. And that's, I don't know, that's one of the reasons I buy certified coins, is that even if the coin is not quite worth getting graded, I'm still able to sell it for cheaper than somebody who was trying to get their coin graded. And so that's kind of, it's a good place to be when you can sell someone a coin that looks nicer than the coin they have for cheaper than it would cost to get it certified themselves. Pretty nice looking obverse. I feel like it looks a little bit soft, maybe. A little spot below Liberty. I feel like I might need to try to refocus here again. And there's a pretty good mark on the reverse. It looks like it probably happened at the mint. It's time to make another stack. So I think I see the coin coming up that it looked like it had a spot on the rim. The L in Liberty, yeah, the L's on about a third of the roll here, it looks like they've been pushed almost all the way to the rim. And the I feel like you can see some die deterioration on them. And so I feel like the L, it gets knocked off just a little bit. And the I just gets kind of squished. I guess that's one thing that I forgot to look for in these is a doubled eyelid, which I believe is the only kind of error that you can find here for this date. But when I looked at the doubled eyelid prices, it was about $25 for an MS65, which if I look at an MS65, it's like 20 bucks. So I could check for doubled eyelids after I got things graded if I needed to. Remember if we looked at the reverse on this one, so we'll take a look. So yeah, I am definitely seeing the L. I've been looking to see if any of them are just basically pushed so far out that they're gone. That would definitely be cool. I definitely have a lot in my kind of circulated collection that are just, the L is gone. So it looks like quite a few little distracting blobs here. I feel like two more coins and I can see, I believe one of them had a darker rim on it. There was the tiniest little stain here on the roll paper. The paper was in good condition, but it looked old. And so while people can make rolls look dirty or rough or old, I feel like, you know, you want one, if it's bright and perfect, yes, if it's original, you could have the most awesome coins ever inside, but at the same time, it's more of a chance that the coins, that it's a brand new roll that somebody's just trying to pass off as old. Such a catch-22. Is this the one that had the darker spot on the rim? It's looking pretty nice. Maybe the luster has been muted a little bit. It kind of all goes in one direction. It all goes like diagonal from the date up. But I feel like it's weird. It's a nicer looking coin, I feel like, but I feel like the luster is muted on it just a little bit. So definitely some marks on this one here. Some spider webbing. So I think we got about 10 coins left. I'd say we found some really nice coins in this roll. They're definitely bright red, except for like the few that have the spider webbing on it and a couple spots on them. look at the Y and Liberty. It looks pretty normal to me. Have you read that there's anything in... Whoop! Rather lose the cap here than the coin. Have you read anything on the L or the Y? A little, possibly, I don't know if you could call it a die chip, a little tiny die chip on the T. But I'm guessing that's more of just a die getting worn down. Little pieces getting sped up. We can take a look at the Y. Microscope cool down here for a second. So yeah, lots of double die 19 or Foreman double die 53s here. Let's see if I can pull up the other one. See if I can find the right place here again. So I wouldn't say we found any, I would definitely say we have not found any MS66 coins, or MS67 here. I'm guessing at best there might be 166, but I try to be harsh on my grading so that like I wouldn't send in a bunch of stuff and then get like annihilated when I saw what the grades really were. This one seems pretty flat. There's the kind of a skull crack on Lincoln here. It looks pretty soft. Like maybe I should adjust the... I feel like we saw the same kind of shoulder pattern before. Yeah, the threes on these definitely look cool. I mean, they look like they want to be a double die, but they're not. I mean, you can see the same thing with, if you look at E pluribus here, it's getting pushed all the way up into the rim. It actually kind of goes up into the curl of the curve. And so basically it's the, I feel like what it is with the three is the die is getting so worn that it's just kind of having to smash the coins to imprint them or to strike them, and it's just, it pushes everything towards the edge. So definitely a little bit of spider webbing on some of these coins. I'm not sure how much it would take to all of a sudden have the coin be red-brown. But I can't quite remember in my head. I feel like if the coin has to be at least 95% red to get red. And then I'm not sure. I don't think any of these coins were brown. That strike on the neck, it just kind of hides there. It's like the fields kind of blind you out. It'll be interesting to see if we get another die chip here before the end of the roll. This one feels a little bit softer, a little bit weaker struck. I feel like a little bit better struck, but a little bit weaker. Kind of interesting combination. I'm guessing that's like probably something, you know, since coins will repeat themselves throughout the roll, probably looking for a roll where the, you know, at least one of the two or both, if you have, you know, just really judging that roll on what the strike looks like on the coin, because they can be beautiful red coins, but if they don't have a very good strike, they're probably not gonna grade as high. And so like looking for equality on the end coin and then looking at the strike and then kind of like the condition. But I'm guessing that rolls probably that have an excellent strike on the end, those ones probably end up costing more, or they're already gone. A little bit of a tiny little nick on the rim. I'm not sure if that kills the entire coin there. If it happened at the mint, I don't know if that is different than if it happened somewhere else. So I'll warn everybody here, we've just got a couple left. I'm pretty happy with this roll here. I mean, even if I was able, like, I mean, I try to have a full inventory in my store, and 1953s are ones that I pretty much always run out of. And I've definitely sold a lot of 64s. Most people would not want to get 64s graded, but I could probably sell them and just put them on margin for above. 65s I can definitely sell. And a 66, obviously, that would be no problem to sell. A little bit of a filled E there, it looks like. Maybe a little die chip on the E. It's definitely not somewhere where I'm used to. I'm not really used to the E being filled there. The B, yes. The E, no. A little bit more scratched up this far. It's like really like the more you zoom in on the coins, the worse they look, and then you zoom out and you're like, oh no, that coin's actually really pretty looking. I have one coin that's flat down on the paper here, so it might take me a second to get it up carefully. Like my fear is always that like you send it in to get graded, and then after you're super careful, they're just like they're like handling it however. Like, this isn't a $10,000 coin, this is like a $10 coin. It's fine. Got another big die crack going across Lincoln's coat. Maybe is a die scratch more accurate for the crack there? It doesn't go all the way to the rim. It's not like it cracks in half on the coin. Alright, I got it. This is why I kept my fingernails here today, so that I'd be able to pick up this roll. carefully. So this one definitely looks a little bit weaker struck. And trust is, wait, what do you guys notice? What's different about this coin? Anybody? That's very interesting. I mean, this one kind of, it's funny because we just did a 1954 roll here. But yeah, 1954. And what's also funny about this one, it kind of looks like the coin from the last roll. I can't think of any reason why I would have had one hanging. I've been working with this space all week. What is going on here? No, that was in the roll. Alright, that's totally odd because this coin looks totally like the roll in 1954, like it came from the same roll. This is blowing my mind because the entire roll here was really nice. And I mean, we saw some spider webbing, but look at the wheat ears here. I mean, here's the roll that we did last Saturday, and it's all the way up to the top. Right here. Oh, why is there a... This is the roll we went through. It's funny, looking at it today, it actually doesn't look quite as bad as I remember, but don't let me mix these up. But some of these, they looked, like this one looked borderline cleaned to me. I don't know. I'm gonna put these away so they don't get, but I was really feeling this roll, and then all of a sudden, 1954. I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, I feel like it would be better odds that a 1953 would pop up in a bankroll of 1954. I mean, did we have any other 1954s in there? Was this the only one? But what strikes me is like the other ones were all so well, you know, like all the wheat ears were beautiful, and then this one, they really kind of look like it's slightly circulated. Let's look at Lincoln. It had to be the last coin in here too. I mean, it definitely looks different than all the other. I mean, it's 1954, it's a different date, it's a whole different beast. That's just really funny. I mean, it definitely could happen. Just want to see, this is the... No, it's not going to show up. That's the one that's kind of toned there. But, I know. Can anybody explain this? Just that it was... I mean, it's like, I know that like coins from the last year can sometimes get loose in the mint or in a rolling machine. Do you think that it was just, you know, if this was rolled in 1953, I guess we can rule out that this roll came from 1953, that it had to have been rolled in 1954 or past. I mean, that had a coin, this one, when I rolled it out, like this was the bottom coin, like I laid them all out. And this one here was the one that was flat underneath the other coins. This is the one that didn't have any support to keep it up. So I know that this one didn't just like randomly come out of nowhere here, and I was very careful to pick up everything from the last roll. But what's everyone's explanation? Just that these were rolled after 1953, obviously, and maybe they needed one more to fill a roll. Maybe the bank was doing 1950 or started to do 1954s, and they were just doing it. It looks completely different than the other ones. Like, to me, it almost looks like, I mean, the front looks, let's get a little bit of light on it. The front looks I thought it was a weak strike on the front, but it's, you know, I'm curious if there's any wear on Lincoln here. I guess there's still a fair amount of luster there. This thing definitely just threw me for a curveball here. And I guess the wheat ears, I know, like, when I look at it, it's like I want to say they're smoothed out, but I think that they might just be a really weak strike. Oh, what's that on the edge? Is that like the world's tiniest cud? Or is that just a die chip right on the edge? I guess it would maybe be a die chip. Does that stick off the edge of the coin? I don't think I've ever seen a die chip on the rim. That's crazy. Yeah, this coin is just worn down. And so, like, not only is this from the next year, but this one, you know, by the way it looks, it's a really late stage die, and they probably went through lots of dies during the year. It's funny, this one's getting all the attention. Alright. So, let me know what you guys think of this roll. I really would like to know everyone's input, because I'd like to buy more rolls. I'd like to do more of these shows here like this. I do have some more mint cellos. I have a 1970S, 50 1970S mint cellos. I've got 75 proof 1959s to go through, and then I have a bunch of business strikes. But let me know if you guys liked letting you guys choose what we go through, because I want it to be fun for you guys. I'm happy looking at any penny, but kind of based on your guys' feedback is what we'll do. You guys voted for the 1953s today, so the 1953s we did. Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm happy with this roll. That last coin just totally, I thought that this was a nice roll. I'm happy with the money I paid for it, but that last coin definitely made me think of, like, wait, what's going on with this roll? But just because somebody hand rolled something and put something together after the fact, it doesn't mean that they can't be nice coins. You know, a lot of these coins looked nicer than other rolls that I've opened that I knew were more recent even. They were nicer than more recent coins. So they have that going for them. But let me know your guys' feedback. Would you guys have bought this roll? Would you be happy? Would you be sad? Do you want to know where I got it from? Yeah, let me know, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Rulas Zelos for being here tonight. And yeah, I wish you guys all good nights. See you all in the future.